Hello. As I've told a lot of people, I am a true conservative and not a Republican and not a libertarian and not a Tea Party, because I believe they have destroyed what true conservatism is about, which is the morality and decency and not being a dictator, controlling other people, or so on. And I'm going to touch on a subject that's very difficult for me, and it's much harder to explain, but the reason why I am for pro-choice on abortion. At one time I was for pro-life. This was when I was a teenager. And as I've told a lot of people, I found my faith at a very young age when I was 16 years old. Basically, I believe in God, or I should say the simplicity of religion, the 5 gifts of God: God, Jesus, family, friends, and humanity before thyself. And I'm going to explain the premise of why I believe abortion should happen in this world. First of all, it's an imperfect world, and there's a lot of immoral, ill-decent sin going out there, and I cannot condone a union that is built upon that sin of abusing drugs and alcohol and inappropriate behavior. I cannot condone a union of that nature. And all things upon this earth, according to scriptures and according to my faith and how I've lived my life, can be influenced by Lucifer or the devil. Now, I believe that the devil is a demon that has invaded Lucifer out of his vanity and shame and anger and frustration, and God not elevating them above mankind. That's just to touch on a little bit. But I believe in order to understand the world better, you must serve God's people or God's children. And I have served and helped the homeless a lot. And I have seen children out there that are homeless, that have literally became homeless and went through foster care and all this other stuff and had no mother, no father, no nothing. And then thrown out on the streets at 18 years of age with very little money or no money at all to somehow try to survive in a very much godless world, on how people want to view and how easy they think it is to survive in this world. People want to say that if you're conservative, you believe in pro-life. And if you're a liberal, you believe in pro-choice. I believe in the middle is where I'm at. I want people to live. I want children to be born in a union that is moral and ethical and right. But that's not the world we live in, and we all know it. And unfortunately, I have seen these children out there who have suffered and suffered, and I had to come to a hard decision and realization that abortion is a necessary evil in an imperfect world. And maybe that was the test from God, was to see if we were willing to let go on a fetus before it truly knows life, so a child of God would not suffer. It is easy for Republicans, Libertarians, and Tea Parties to say that we should not have welfare or opportunity or things for the people out there or government assistance because they are destitute. They need to find a way to figure things out on their own. But it's okay for us to force them into this world as fetuses and young childs, force these people and victimize doctors who can give abortions and be responsible. Make sure these women don't try to do this to themselves out of fear or whatever from their parents that are really conservative, fake conservatism, or because they're ashamed that they're pregnant in our society, because they made a mistake, or they did drugs, or they got caught up in the moment with some guy who was sweet talking them and talking a bunch of shit and got them wrapped up and got them pregnant. And then we give them up for adoption. because we say that's the moral and ethical thing to do. And here comes the dilemma. These children grow up, and a country turns their back on them. Us as a society and a people turn our back on them. And that is why we have a growing problem of youth in this country who are homeless. Some abusing drugs and alcohol to escape the pain, and some have even begged me to take their own life. Shame on us as a society to turn our backs on the less fortunate. As Jesus Christ would not have done this himself, as a true conservative, we should not either. These children did not ask to have this happen to them. We forced it upon them, claiming it was the conservative and right thing to do. And it's not. It's wrong. As a society and as a country and as a government, we owe something to our people, including the less fortunate and the homeless. And as people who are more fortunate, we should step up and do more for them and not less. We should not criticize or judge them. And yes, abortion should be allowed, simple on the fact that as a conservative, I have no right to be a dictator to someone else and tell them what is right and wrong. Now, I think obsessive abortion ought to be a crime. If a woman goes out there and has 3 or 4 abortions within a 2-year period of time, that's obsessive abortion. We have contraceptives today. We have the pill. We have condoms. We have several ways to prevent pregnancy, and that's called responsibility and accountability. And that is conservatism. And that is the right thing to do. What's the wrong thing is forcing these children to be born into this world without a support system and without being able to protect them, and watching them grow up and suffer, and eventually, possibility, the percentages are very strongly against them becoming homeless, addicted to drugs, alcohol, and eventually begging for death. I have seen this more times in my life in my own state of Arkansas, and I know this is not just in my state. This is around the world, and this is in every single state in the United States of America. This is something that has to change in this country and how we think and feel and believe. This is not a liberal issue. This is not a conservative issue. This is a morality issue. This is a humanitarian issue. And as people, we should do better by our population and by our citizens and by just our morality and decency of who we are. It is not these children's fault. It is ours as a people and as a society. And God forgive us for it. May the Almighty Spirit, Lord God, enlighten us and help us understand that abortion is a necessary evil in this world. Unfortunate that is true, because this world is not a perfect world. It is an imperfect world. And I just got done having a very strong debate with somebody who has old conservative beliefs. And I'm sorry for babbling on or mambling on or whatever. But I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. God bless. And may we all do better in this world and for our people and for God's children. Amen.